Stay with us as we move to some more statements from Beijing. China has labelled Taiwan's leader, Lai Ching-Te, a war instigator following his comments in an interview. Lai warned that Beijing would target other countries in the region if it seized control of Taiwan. Beijing's foreign ministry spokesperson, Lin Jian, condemned Lai's remarks, calling them a clear indication of his pro-independence stance. Lin accused Lai of being a peace disruptor, crisis creator and war instigator, further escalating tensions between China and Taiwan. Keith joins us once again to discuss this. This, of course, follows an interview with Lai Ching-Te where he labelled Beijing's actions as extremely provocative and, of course, warned that if or once China takes Taiwan, the next would be the Americas, Europe. It was pretty compelling statements. Keith, could I get your thoughts on this statement? Is this Beijing's language genuinely escalation here, or is this just more of the same?
I think it is a bit of both. It's a bit of more of the same. We're always going to have a Taiwan-China issue until it's finally settled. But secondly, the war of words is getting louder, and therefore people need to take note of what is happening in Taiwan. I think that as a result of what is being said, people will observe, they will come to different conclusions as to what is going on. But by and large, I don't see the situation changing rapidly. It's been like this for years and years. China never wants to be seen to be the perpetrator. It wants to remind people that it doesn't go and declare war, doesn't invade, all that kind of stuff. At least not since Tibet.
But Keith, would you say that it's been at this scale before? In your memory, of course, we've seen drills step up severely over the past 2 years or so. The latter end of last year, we had these huge war games around China, if you can remember. And of course, the language has been escalatory, to say the least, on both sides, particularly from Beijing. Every year in his message, Xi Jinping makes comments about reunification. Have things really been on a steady trajectory, or are we on an upward one?
I think it's probably the case that we're an upward one. It's a slow gradient. There's more language around it. There's more activity around the language. So it is getting a little hotter. It's not absolutely hot where it's irretrievable. But in the world when America is not going to listen to China and vice versa, which is the country or the entity that's going to say stop? And that's what we're missing in this lawless world. Some higher authority that's going to be able to step in and say, you really must sit around the conference table.
Keith, do stay with us once again as we turn to our next story. We have further news coming out of Beijing. China has urged the United States to immediately stop interfering in Cuba's affairs. Beijing's foreign ministry said Washington should leave Cuba alone and end what it called pressure and unilateral actions against the island. The remarks come amid rising tensions between the US and Cuba, with China positioning itself as a defender of Havana's sovereignty. Now we move on and over to Eastern Europe, and Russia is preparing to